Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Lane, the Executive Director of Collateral Repair Project. All of us at CRP are so excited to have been chosen as the Falco Target Project. I want to give you a quick overview about CRP and our work with refugees in Amman, Jordan, as well as tell you about our exciting plans for this 2-year project. The Syrian refugee crisis, as you might know, is the largest refugee crisis since World War II. In Jordan, 1 in every 10 people is a refugee. Most are from Syria, but CRP serves refugees in Jordan regardless of their nationality. So we also have plenty of Iraqis, Somalis, Sudanese, and refugees from other countries. Only around 10% of Syrians are living in refugee camps, so the vast majority are living in urban neighborhoods like the area where CRP works in the capital city of Amman. The most important thing to know about refugees in Jordan is that they're largely forbidden by law to work. This means that families are unable to take care of their basic needs, and it's a huge source of unrelenting stress and difficulty for families in our community. But despite the huge amount of stress the families we help are under, our Family Resource and Community Center is a vibrant and happy place. Here are just a few images taken from around our center of kids playing, our women's craft collective, our daily English classes, and there are cute smiles around all the time. The families we serve have undergone unbelievable hardship in their home countries and experienced trauma of a sort most of us can barely imagine. Families come to CRP because they have nowhere else to turn. Larger organizations have put them on long wait lists for aid, and they're desperate and in need of help. CRP is small, and we know our community well. We can immediately spring into action to help these families with their pressing needs. This is how we first interact with most families. After they arrive on our doorstep, we assess their situation and can then begin providing them with monthly food vouchers and basic needs items, things like mattresses, blankets, heaters, and cooktop stoves. But just as important is the critical work that we're doing through our vibrant community center. We've learned that feeding people and assisting them with their basic needs is crucial, but it doesn't change their situation. What does is the slow and patient nurturing we do through our many community center activities that allow roots to grow and begin to take. At our center, refugees begin attending computer and English classes, sending their children to our after-school program, and their teens to our weekend skateboarding program. They start participating in yoga and acupressure for trauma sessions, and they begin learning about ways to better manage their stress. Our many community center activities offer them a safe space to rebuild the community they've lost. They give them a chance to learn new skills, as well as an avenue to begin healing from trauma. But this really is only part of the story, because once people begin getting involved in our community center activities, they begin to blossom by serving others in the community. They begin leading activities and offering up their own skills to share and help those around them. And this is where I find an unbelievable amount of grace in our community, that people who have gone through so much are transformed by doing something that really matters, empowering and helping others. Nearly all of our community center activities are volunteer-run, and most of our volunteers are refugees themselves. We invest in training and encourage everyone to get involved and share their skills, because we've seen over and over again how community service transforms them, and it really helps them combat the stress and isolation they have from displacement. The work we've begun doing in training women on leadership skills and empowering our men and women community leaders to undertake a community-wide discussion on combating family violence in our community formed the basis of our FAWCO project as we began to design a larger project to address women and girls' education and empowerment. I want to give you an idea of just how much we've realized that investing in women's education and training are keys to empowerment. This is Nadia. She's from a minority Christian group in Iraq, and after she began participating in our women's leadership sessions and later training other women on leadership skills, I literally started to see Nadia transform before my eyes. I remember meeting her for the first time a few years ago when she was newly arrived in Jordan after her family had escaped ISIS. She was clearly weighted down with trauma and struggling to cope. What she has to say now about her experience attending women's leadership sessions at CRP is really what our work is all about. She says, "My whole life I didn't feel like I had any rights. We were living in fear. I got to the point where I hated myself, thinking, until what point will I stay afraid? I've hurt myself and my children with this fear. And so I came to CRP's center, and what can I tell you? It was like psychological treatment without a doctor. I got to know so many of the women who back in Iraq I would have been afraid of. I had no friends back home, but I came here and thought, where were these amazing people in Iraq? As a group, we've built an unimaginable bond." And here's Nadia on the right in the yellow shirt, offering up acupressure for trauma to some of the women in our community. And she's second from the right in this picture with a group of other women leaders. Just reaching one woman with that kind of experience seems like a miracle. But because of FAWCO's support, we now have the extraordinary opportunity to extend and expand these trainings to reach so many more women and girls. Our target project, Hope Beyond Displacement, will build on the preliminary work that we've done with leaders like Nadia and her friends. We'll greatly expand the reach of the training we've started to increase women's leadership and decrease violence against women and children. Over 2 years, 160 women will complete our women's empowerment training, and 160 men and boys will receive gender-based violence prevention and awareness training. This close work with men is crucial, since making life better for women has to involve awareness raising and a commitment to including men in the conversation. We designed the Target project around the most important needs that women in our community voiced. They are ensuring better educational support for their children, accessing a source of income, better managing the threat of violence in their families, and finding concrete opportunities to develop and learn leadership and advocacy skills. Falco support will give CRP the opportunity to start brand new programs we've been wanting to initiate but couldn't due to lack of funds. Vocational training for women has long been a priority for us, since the inability for refugees to work in the formal market is a huge constraint to their ability to get by. We've decided to pilot training on beautician skills, as it will enable them to access the informal work sector. Alongside their technical training, the 60 women participants will also receive entrepreneurial training. The project's intensive computer skills training will be the first time CRP will place a particular focus on developing and accelerating women and girls' computer literacy. Our Supergirls program will be set up to nurture and develop dynamic young girls who are supported with trauma-sensitive academic and life skills support. For the past 3 years, we've been running after-school programming for kids in our community, and we've been continually surprised by the large numbers of children who come to our center in the afternoon to learn, but are not enrolled in school. To think that so many kids are out of the classroom is nothing short of tragic. And what's even more surprising is that for each of these kids, just $100 would enable her or him to get the books, school supplies, uniform, and registration fees paid to attend school for an entire year. For families who don't know how they'll pay for their monthly rent or put food on their tables, $100 for likely 2 or 3 children per family is simply outside their reach. Falco's support means that each year we'll be able to get 100 girls in school. 100 girls who now will have opportunities open to them that were previously closed. Every day at work, when I talk to the people we serve, I hear their stories and see how war is just utterly brutal. People have lost so much. But that's only one side of the story. The other side, which I see every day, is that our community is exceedingly resilient, and Falco's support is going to help the women and girls in our community to learn, grow, and heal. Through our partnership, women and girls will receive educational opportunities we simply did not have the resources to provide. Our partnership will also allow us to develop and nurture female leaders who will be right at the forefront in bringing about a more equitable and humane community, one that not only supports one another, but that also values and listens to what they have to say. This truly would not be possible without Falco's support. We're overjoyed and so grateful to have you on our side. From all of us at CRP to all of you, a huge thank you.